Busboard, I bust through and bust moves. Stay true, they kill it, they stay smooth. Handsome brothers stay set in the mood, but they wanted funky rhymes from the brother so cool. Trying to check the vibes and set the conversation. The keenest minds to find this observation. I'm on 10 podcast, so don't not face it. We'll be the first to declare our greatness. Checking out, check out, I'm checking it twice on the weekly. I'm busting, cause busting is life. If you don't know, now you do though. You should peep game, that'd be cool though. Cause your part is crucial, so get on the movement. If you ain't busting, don't know what you doing. Wasting your time and ignoring the truest. Some of the realest, they greatly influence. Kings in Montana creating a movement. Scrapping or rapping or laughing or acting. It really don't matter, cause this is our passion. We busting and trusting. It really is something when it comes to our family. You know that we love them. That's how we roll. Montana in the house and we taking control. Podcast kings in the place to be. We taking over, just wait and see.
Slow down and catch the vibe. Weekly buzz will be on tonight. No boasting, true and tried. It's Buzzword, it's ride or die. Slow down and catch the vibe. Weekly buzz will be on tonight. No boasting, true and tried. It's Buzzword, it's ride or die.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Weekly Bus. We are being joined by a very, very tough individual who just came off of a fight in Salt Lake City. We got the witness firsthand. He goes by the name Keegan, a Sundance Kid.
Whoa!
Sampson. There we go. I got it. Back. Whatever you did, I just had it.
Oh, let's go, baby.
How's it going, y'all?
What's going on, big guy?
Chilling, man. Working hard. Staying on track with things. I'm excited for this fight coming up. It's good to be talking.
You got a banger coming out, man. You got a very tough fight. You're fighting an individual out of Montana, actually, Sawyer Depee.
Man, yeah, I've heard so much praise about Sawyer, actually, about how tough he is and just the levels of the people that he's fought. So this is huge. This is huge for me. I'm excited and I'm looking forward to this.
It's getting a lot of attention up here because he is a fan favorite up here.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, but you're pretty close to Denver, so I know that the hometown crowd is going to be favoritism over there. But like, I bet you're going to hear a fan base over there in Denver. I bet you for Sawyer.
I think we're.
How are we sounding out there?
I think he's got enough pull that it could very well split the house. So and all respect due, man. He's a big name. He's been in the game a while, and man, Sawyer Depee's got all the seasoning that anyone who's getting into the sport would want. Just
before we get too far in the conversation, are we sounding clear to you?
Yep. It's a little bit like it's like it's not reverbing or anything. It's doing like the little, like my iPhone speakers are only so big, so it's gonna only appear so loud on my end.
Okay, cool. Just making sure that you can hear us nice and clear.
Yes, sir.
We have a tradition on the show that we like to do with our guests. It gives the guests the opportunity to explain who they are in their own words. So I guess the question is, man, who is Keegan Vandermeer?
Man, okay, I like that. I like questions like that. Thank you. Keegan Vandermeer is I'm a lifelong athlete, and I'm a lifelong martial artist. Everything that my life and just like things that I'm interested in and that I have a passion for, it's all really about just like testing physical and mental and emotional thresholds and just doing what I can to just I made my name off of just staying on the grind, man. And that's just when I'm passionate about something, I take all my free time and I put that into it. So Keegan Vandermeer, shoot, I'm an outdoorsy guy. Everything, I like to have fun. I'm still just
outdoorsy as in like hiking, hunting, fishing, that type of shit.
Yeah. Dirt biking. I'm not as good at fishing as I am at other things, but like camping, even
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You said an all-around athlete, meaning like, is that football, basketball, soccer? Like, what were you thinking? Like, what were you saying?
Lifelong athlete. I grew up on soccer. And then basketball was like the really next big sport for me. And then I've been doing martial arts between here and there, but when I got into like MMA was was after I'd been trying out for the D League for a few years, and just had like a slow time in my life, and I switched it up.
Nice. How long did you play basketball for? Did you say?
I played basketball through my sophomore through the end of high school, so through my sophomore and senior years, and then I played for about 4 or 5 years after that. I was trying out for the D League for a few years straight, and if there's anything that's like a statement to really who I am, like even the job that I was working then, I was working as a medical assistant. I knew I wanted to keep trying for the D League, and every single penny that I had went into trips like that. Like there was one point where I had landed in New York for national tryouts, and the morning that I got there, I still hadn't received my paycheck yet. And I only got there and I hadn't booked my hotel yet. So
hey man, that is the definition of risking it for the biscuit, man. You know what I mean? You know, the risk is there, but the reward, if you did, is so high, you know.
It really is, and getting to see, because that was the very first tryout that I went to. I had no organization. I had no idea what was going on. That was really me just kind of cutting my teeth, getting an idea for how it's supposed to go. And I feel like that's how it's gone for me with bare knuckle, is each fight I'm realizing and I'm learning these things, these little in-betweens, and I'm like, wow, that is right there. So we do things like this. Like this is how I can still fight.
I love that you bring that up, Keegan, because you know, as the sport develops and it's becoming more and it's rising in popularity, you are seeing certain styles and niches and what works, what doesn't work. What have you done in particular to train yourself in the bare knuckle realm?
So lately this year has been clinch work, man. That good old clinch work, and just making sure that I keep myself safe, and I also keep the fight there. Like I can still fight there. Mainly sticking to what I'm best at, which is boxing, and just picking clean angles and keep moving my feet.
Have you been watching our champion at all? Yeah, he seems to be the king of clinch, Kai Stewart.
Yeah, man, Kai is a grinder, and huge respect to him, because I see so many people, like Kai's the type of person that he takes whatever you've got and he just chips little pieces off of it until you've got nothing to offer, and then it's his game. And then it's his game, and he's really good at changing momentum that way. Big shout out to Kai, because
I want to speak on your physique, man. I was looking at your size, and you're huge, dude. I did not freaking realize how big of a man you were, man. You are a massive individual.
Shoot, man, I've been working on just trying to fill in my frame for what it is, because when I was playing basketball, I did weigh more. I thought I was in shape for a really long time. This is probably the best shape that I've been for a really long time.
So yeah, no, you walk around, you fight at 205, right?
Mm-hmm. I fight at 205.
You don't look like a 205er. You just don't. So
when you stand next to him, though, he makes you feel.
He does, dude. Because all right, I want to bring back the Salt Lake, and we were sitting at a vantage point where we got to see you walk in and walk out, come and go,
Yep.
you know. And when you walked by me after your guys' war, I was like, holy fuck, he's huge, dude. I was not expecting how tall and how big of a person you were. I'm only 5'11", but you towered over me, man.
I really, my size and my frame and my build is like, I'm glad that I'm built the way I am, because I'm also fast for my size. It's a blessing to be able to fight at 205 and to be able to do what I do.
Hey, Smith, will you check audio levels on my mic, please?
How did you go from basketball to bare knuckle?
We're getting feet or something on it.
Can I'll tell you.
My mic's really loud or it's really distorted. Something's going on with it. We got from 3 different people here.
Trying to fucking figure out.
All right, go on. What were you saying?
I'll tell you guys a crazy story. So I had just stopped working as a medical assistant because I was going through some personal stuff in life. I had broken up with this girl, and I was in between places. I wasn't in good standing with my job. And then I was trying to set myself up to go to tryouts that year, actually. And I let my environment influence me because I wasn't around some of the best people, and I got myself into just like kicking around the wrong crowd. And I was at a kickback that was actually at the place I was staying at. And luckily my little brother was there that night, but somebody tried to take, because you can smoke marijuana in Colorado. This is before fighting. This guy tried to take some that I just bought that day, and I had spent kind of my last little bit on that. And it was me and my little brother. This was actually a kickback at the place that we were staying at. This guy tries to make off with this stuff, but I stopped him. I reached in his hoodie pocket, and we're kind of struggling back and forth with this in the front yard. And this is a scuffle that's kind of migrating through the yard onto the sidewalk. And we're just pulling back and forth at this stuff. And my little brother's walking behind me, keeping an eye out for me because he's got friends there too. And they're walking behind us. And I go to reach in with my other hand into the hoodie pocket to grab it. And he grabs my fingers and flicks a knife out.
Oh, damn.
He grabs my hand. He grabbed my fingers from one hand, and he had the knife in the other hand that was under the hand that was going this way, and he tried to cut my hand off.
Holy shit.
And, yep.
Damn. I mean, you could have died from that. That's right. That's where people commit suicide, right through their
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, what's this?
Got him good.
So I didn't make it to tryouts that year.
Wait, how long ago was this?
This was the summer of 2016, I believe.
Okay.
Summer
Holy
of 2016.
Shit.
Yeah, it was a while back. And I didn't know what was going to happen, but once this guy started doing that, because we were kind of pinned up against this fence in my neighbor's yard, I just went into full on just do whatever I can to just hurt this guy because he's hurting me right now. So I tried to do a backflip with him in my arms. I suplexed him. And while that was happening, the police were actually walking up asking what was going on. And so I did the suplex, and I kind of rolled on top of him, and he's got his arms under him, and the knife is under both of us. And I just kind of looked up at the cops, and I was like, this guy's just trying to take
Who was the UFC fighter who knocked out that dude? Was that Justin Gaethje?
No.
What? Did chase him? What? When he was going to get robbed and he beat the brakes off, dude.
Oh, I was going to say John Jones before his title match. He chased that dude down.
I think that reminds me of, man.
Yeah, I think there was a chick that did that too. There was a chick that beat the brakes off of somebody that tried to rob her.
So then what happens there? Do you get in trouble for, trying to take care of yourself? Or
what happens was I end up getting taken to the hospital in an ambulance because it was above all my vitals. Luckily, I didn't bleed out. Everything was flying a million miles an hour in that moment, so I didn't know what was going to happen to me. But
was he cut or poked?
He got sliced across.
He got sliced?
Yeah. And so I'm in the hospital, and the cops are taking pictures of me, and they're telling me, they're like, oh, well, you've got to show up for court and all this other stuff. I'm like, I have no condition to do anything. I don't have anything to do with whatever this guy's got going on, and he just cut me. So,
do you ever getting sliced? Did you feel it?
Mm-hmm. And I felt it, and I heard it.
Oh, you heard it?
It's gross.
I've been poked. I've never been sliced, and I didn't know that I got poked, and I got told afterwards because I was in a fight also.
It sounds like a pop.
Yeah, that's all I heard. I thought it was my shirt. And I thought it was my shirt ripping or something. Oh. And the girlfriend I was with at the time, she's like, hey, you're bleeding bad. And I looked down at, sure enough, shit, underneath my shoulder, I had a stab wound. I was like, oh, I was like, dang.
It's different. It's different than getting punched. You're like, whoa.
I felt like the healing part of it was way worse than the initial part. It was so sore around the wound.
I felt like I was turning to butter, if that made any sense. I felt like my flesh was just turning to butter.
That's wild, man.
Yeah. So after that happens, I end up having to sit still for a while. And I changed from working one medical assisting job to another. But the next one that I had was actually next to this UFC gym that's in Lone Tree out here. And I ended up getting fed up with working as a medical assistant because I'm always fascinated with martial arts. I ended up picking up a membership at that UFC gym. I ended up working there at the front desk to help pay my membership. And then while I was there, I met people in the MMA scene out here. This guy named Andrew Lip, and Clarence Stachin, Bumpy, Adrian Jones, Lamumba Sayers.
Because me and Levi worked in a gym for a long time, actually, and I'm going to say one of the greatest places to network by far is a fitness center because it brings the best in society out. Everyone that's going to a gym is more than likely there to benefit themselves, or they're on this path of like self-righteousness or improvement. So you find the people who are building things in gyms, man. So it's cool that you brought that up. A lot of the contacts that I made as a media personality honestly came from a position that I held prior to this, and which was at a gym.
Yeah, yo, that's like I tell people, I'm like, listen, if you want to be around people who are trying to get the same kind of stuff that's you're trying to get done, it doesn't always have to be these hardcore places. Go to places where people are like, hey, look, good job for coming in. Because for me, a lot of what started out the hardcore part of training in mixed martial arts for me was going to these practices and like being excited and then getting in there and really going through the stuff, going through the trenches. And then it was the people at the end of that going, hey, I know that felt ugly. I know that felt like you probably weren't going to make that, but you did a good job. We'll see you next week. And sometimes it wasn't even always like that. Sometimes it was just like, hey, be at practice next week. You know, I had a couple of situations where it was like that, where it wasn't always sunshines and rainbow. But the fitness center, really like meeting the people that I met there, because of the setting that it was such a controlled setting, it was really up to me whether I could take that into my own hands and venture outside of there with those people. And I chose to. That's how I knew once I took on my first fight, which was a Muay Thai fight at 185. It just felt so flipping good. And
what did you take from Muay Thai? Because I always like that's a huge one for me. Faria is a background, you know, that's the female. I mean, that's the go to bare knuckle for females. We know this. She is a huge advocate for Muay Thai training going into bare knuckle, and she says that's probably the most dominant style of fighting that she would recommend going into BK. Yeah, do you agree?
I do agree because if you train Muay Thai, you're training your whole body. And in a lot of the practices, like you see it, like you've got people going till like they can barely get up. But it's like the principle is like if you can get up, like throw. And to drill that into yourself mentally over and over and over again. And you're like, oh, it's just practice. But other people are looking at you, they're like, that's practice for you? And you're like, yeah.
Is that not practice for you? Like, what's going on?
Actually, that's a great question. You just sparked in my head, man. You know, you being who you are as a bare knuckle fighter now, predominantly a bare knuckle fighter, and you training in these other facilities. You as a bare knuckle fighter, do you see yourself training way harder or way more difficult or just differently than these other fighters do?
One thing that I've noticed about myself is that through my amateur career and even through the beginning of my pro career, some of the people that I've trained with, they were always just really intense people. So for me, what is like due diligence as far as work sometimes looks different for certain areas. Like me, like I could spend 45 minutes on footwork, but some people would tell you like, oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, like you're not getting anything out of that. But it's like, well, in that 45 minutes, like I really just put myself in the right place for 45 minutes, you know?
You being out of Denver, have you had any time with Chris Camozzi?
Yes. And Chris Camozzi is a stellar athlete. He's an amazing professional. Ever since I've met Chris Camozzi and ever since I've known about him and got to watch him compete in the different places that he's got to compete in, I've always had high respect for Chris Camozzi.
Chris was on our show one time, and he was talking about that they have a bare knuckle gym in Denver. Is that the gym that you train out of?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome. That's pretty badass, man. I love that Denver is one of the few cities that really has taken the bare knuckle and really took it serious to where they actually opened up a bare knuckle gym. That's so much
that you guys fight on my birthday.
That is dope.
Format.
That is dope.
Yeah, dog.
The format for the practices, the things that him and the other coaches lay out for us is really, it's nice. It's cool stuff. It's like it's just like any other type of discipline, you know, where you've got people that are like, hey, like, okay, so there's like, you know, certain people teach you like certain ways to do arm bars in jiu-jitsu. It's like the same thing. Like he's teaching we're working on different ways to engage in all different areas and just exploring good tools. And me, I'm someone, I enjoy like rugged aspects of a sport. I enjoy like old school styles. I like it when people could be like, watch bare knuckle fights and be like, wow, that actually did kind of look like a bar fight. Like I appreciate that. I appreciate, you know, sometimes the ugly side of what it doesn't look like it makes sense, but what's happening there, you can't all see it, but something's going on. And
what's that? Good.
I like that with the rules in bare knuckle that you see who's like, oh, if I can't punch you this way, I'm gonna punch you this way.
Yeah.
And that's like I've really come to respect and appreciate that. So that's one thing that practice is bringing. Is it's like, oh, well, this person's right here, just do this or try this or do this option. You know, we're working with these rules, so do this.
So how did your relationship, like with you and Chris, kind of start up? Because when he was on the show, he was saying some really cool things about you, and then I messaged him here or there on like IG, and he always has nothing but good shit to say about you and how hard of a worker you are. So
I met Chris when I was just kind of just between gyms, and through the people that I had already known and like through people that were schooling me, knew Chris. And I'd seen Chris a couple of times between a couple of fight events in Denver, but meeting him through the bare knuckle event was really it. And then getting to know him more like in the practices and getting to spar with him, getting to train with him, and seeing how just the habits and the discipline and like the philosophy of a veteran. It's just that stuff's really intriguing to me. And Chris, to me, when I see how he carries himself and just how he works on the things he's good at and how he evens the playing field against his opponents, it's respectable to me. It's very respectable to me. I do enjoy working with him, and man, he's made me stronger, honestly, because he gives me looks that I don't always get to see.
You come off as a well-spoken professional fighter, man, and well-versed. And with that being said, you know, we've seen some unprofessional shit lately in the media as far as the fight world goes. And one of those being is Ryan Garcia missing weight by 3.2 fucking pounds. What are your thoughts on that, man? You know, going into such a major promotion, a major stage, two of the biggest fucking stars in boxing, and one of them misses weight by not ounces, but by pounds.
And has to pay $500,000 per pound.
It makes me. I could
Doesn't
drop.
it piss you off?
I could drop 4 pounds right now with like a half an hour of jump rope.
That's insane.
I can drop water. I feel
like it's such a disrespect thing to all the fucking fighters that have worked their asses off to get to, maybe even possibly get to a point like that, and then you show up to weigh-in days a fucking way overweight.
Has he fought a bunch at that weight before?
If I was another fighter on that card, I'd be like,
yeah, he was a title holder for that weight. Yeah.
Oh, dude, where's mine? You know, where's my shot? Because this guy's messing it up. It's levels to the game, man, and he's too far up there. You know, there had really better be some bigger plan behind all of that. Because if you're out here missing weight by 3 pounds, like
that was my exact thought. See, like, I know that because this, you know, once you miss weight, that's no longer a title fight, which was a big deal. You know,
it's just a fight now. So
now it's just a fight, yeah. But it is a big.
How much money is lost in Vegas because of that?
Yeah, not only that, dude. Like Ryan's such a piece of shit here because even if he does win, it's a win that no longer matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Ryan just literally when he showed up with a beer in his hand and 3 pounds over, and drank it on the scale. What he just said is fuck boxing, fuck everyone who loves boxing, fuck all these fucking fighters. Because what he just said is that I'm going to show up, I'm going to fight, win, lose, or draw. Even if I do win, it doesn't fucking matter. And I just shit on everyone.
If I lose, it still doesn't matter.
Right. It was such a shitty move from Ryan, bro. It really was for the sport of boxing.
It's very unprofessional, and we've as fighters we've always got to remember that your first fight is against the scales. And for me personally, that is one of the reasons why I prefer fighting at 200 pounds, is because I don't like fighting the scales. I don't like fighting the scales.
Sorry, Jake. No, go ahead. I was just going to say, if you guys are enjoying this episode, please drop a like and a subscribe. Go ahead, Jake.
Well, and I was just wondering, too, if, like, maybe that cut down to 140 or whatever it is too tough for him now. So maybe he's making a spectacle of not making the weight. Mm-hmm. So, like, if he would have dropped to 140 and lost, then it's because I made this super hard cut.
That's exactly what he said, actually, Jake. I don't know if you listened to him. He almost echoed what you said. He's like, you know what? He's like, I'm coming to fucking win this fucking fight. He's all like, and me cutting those extra 4 or 5 fucking pounds has already brought me down to that. He's like, I would rather eat the 1.5 million, lose the title, and beat your ass. That was his point.
Fighting at that weight.
That's what I said. I said, you signed the contract for 140,
That's the thing, as he signed the contract for the agreed upon weight. Like, that was that big of an issue that should have been discussed ahead of time.
100%.
Yeah.
Keegan, you had a rumor in Salt Lake.
Still ended up just being a fight. If you would have just been like, no, let's just do it at this weight. Screw the belts. Like, forget all the other extra stuff. Let's just fight. Like, let's fight and let's be comfy, you know?
Well, yeah. When at that point, are you saying that your cut's any harder than the other dude?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then it gets just, that's egotistical. That's,
exactly.
At least, you know.
It just said that's bullshit.
It really is, man. I mean, he was already in hot waters for being that type of fighter when he took a knee when Davis, you know. I mean, and I know that I still want to reiterate, like, nobody's taking that from him, because when you get your body beat that fucking bad by a man like Davis, it's expected. But he was in hot water already because of that. Like, you would have wanted to run a perfect campaign in order to build your name back up after the Davis incident.
What was that, Keegan?
The body's everybody.
Only.
It's everybody's what?
It's everybody's off switch.
Yeah. So speaking of, you know, getting ready for fights and stuff, I noticed you got a little bit of a shiner, it looks like, on your eye there. Were you getting punched around by Chris himself? Or what's going on?
Chris this time. Alonzo Menafield from the UFC.
Damn.
Alonzo Menafield.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, Chris said you guys have some big-ass things going on at that gym. It'd be fun to get down there and kind of hang out with some of you guys. And
come see one of the sessions.
Hey, man, we intended to come down to Denver a couple months ago. Just some shit came up that, you know, it didn't happen. But we still have very much Denver on the schedule at some point. Yeah.
You would like what you see at our mat sessions out here. You'd like it.
Yeah. Well, Chris is just a super nice dude. I really like him a lot, and I like what you were saying. Kind of echo that. Like, he just good dude. I like how he carries himself. He's fucking funny. The videos that he makes with Wit, and shit is really funny. So,
a lot of people they try to be funny these days. And
what was that?
Ignorant stuff or a lot of like really mean stuff. And Chris is just like one of those guys. I've always, anytime that I've seen him, he's just always been cool, laid back, and then. He's never had to like. He's not someone that has to subject others to like a joke or anything. Like he can be funny and everyone's
funny without someone else's expense.
He's not a jerk. He's good.
So you mentioned earlier you like to watch a dog fight, even if it looks unorthodox or whatever. You know, you like to see a good fight, and a good fight is what we've been seeing with the shorter and smaller ring. What do you think about that, man? With Fight Night and Prospect Series is a 16-footer.
Bring it on, man.
You're entering the 16-footer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been, I think I forget if the ring over at one of the gyms that I practice at is that dimension, but one of the gyms that I go to has a little bit of more of a cozy ring. So I've been working a ton in that one. And yeah, I'm not worried.
This is the reason why I wanted to bring it up personally for you in particular is that you are such a lengthy individual, and using that length is going to be cut off. It just seems like it cuts off the length fighters, and it closes the distance a lot. And I wonder how that's going to affect the lengthier distance fighters.
Well, let's just I feel like there's 100,000 different ways that you can make a small space big, and it's really just about how you decide to walk, how you decide to step. I'm learning a lot more to make the smaller steps count. I'm not going to be in a rush to get across the ring or to get here or there. But distance is still going to be the main priority. Range is still going to be the main priority. But as far as dimensions go, I mean, I've been in big rings and have still been only confined to like one space, or have had people really just try to work me to one corner, and I've had to use that for, the time.
We've talked about it on the show before about the ring design of bare knuckle, and we're talking about the turnbuckles in particular, man. Have you ever got jammed up in those? Because I know you get it. It's not like the corners like in a boxing ring or like you almost get caught or sucked in there.
It's like there's like a
little lip,
the ring, and a little lip. If you're moving, your shoulder can get caught on that, and you can just get stuck there.
I'm still. You've seen it. I was just wondering, have you or your team been focusing on how to get out of a corner or a pit like that?
I've been working a ton on really just because I notice in those parts, it's more about like if people are gonna body up into you and crash into you and then try to work you from there, it's I haven't been working on that specific part, but in my mind, what's going on when I hear that and when I think of that is that if someone's going to body up with you there and they're using that to their advantage to try to pin you down, it's really just going to be about just kind of misdirection at that point, because misdirection is something that I try to use if I'm moving a certain way and someone's kind of catching on, I got to like lead you this way to try to lead you the other way.
You have great fighters IQ, man. You can tell you're being trained around a really cool set of people, man. Just by hearing the way you speak and your observations as far as fighting goes is fucking sick, man. You're a student of the game. I always love that. I always love to find a fighter that's a student of the game.
Yes, sir. That's shoot, man, through and through. That's what's gotten me this far, man. Is just really take the good with the bad with the good.
Yeah. These last Prospect series have been fucking sick.
Lit. I love Prospect series, man. I do love it.
And I think that's more of a Nelson thing. So shout out to our boy Nelson.
Yeah, it is, man. You're cleaning up a really good show, man. I love your production.
I wanted to talk about Tyler was starting to bring up Salt Lake a little bit because I got to see you in Denver, man, and it was good. I mean, your fight in Salt Lake was good, but you were a little more. It seemed like precision, like when you were in Denver. You took a hard hit in the first down in Salt Lake. Right? Yeah. You took a big one in the first too, and I didn't know it. I mean, not saying that one thing or another about the fight, but it seemed like it maybe got you off your game a little bit.
Fuck yeah!
And you guys it was a beautiful fight. You guys were banging, swinging for the fences, but it seemed like you weren't maybe quite as technical as you were in Denver. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
I wasn't. You're right. You're absolutely right.
But I'm not trying to call you out, dude. You know I love you.
I want to put that out there. I was going to say it earlier. Jake is legitimately a Keegan guy.
Yeah.
And you already know I'm someone that I like to look at stuff from all angles, man. So and one thing to add to that, shout out to Esteban Rodriguez, because that fight was crazy.
I
think that's one of the best fights of the night.
I agree. I think that I give that one second best fight of the night behind Kai's.
Yes, sir. That was so fun.
Wait, didn't you guys get wasn't there 2 fight of the nights there?
I'm pretty sure. I think it was me and Mike's.
Yeah.
Ours
Okay,
and
that's what I
Mike's.
thought. Yeah. Okay.
I got fight of the night.
I think it was you and Kai. So
Yeah, it was you and Kai.
Oh, it was me and Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Hey,
Yeah.
look,
No,
I only know so much. That was literally, I'm gonna be honest, that was a guess. That was
Yeah.
a guess. And
That's our job. We're supposed to know this stuff.
hey, and shout out Kai because
We need on his. We have a fried mic. Yeah, we'll do it after.
yeah.
It was a banger of a fight, dude, and I just was wondering if, like I said, you could take one shot at any time and obviously get knocked out. But I didn't know if like that shot you took in the first kind of threw you off your game, and it was hard to readjust because he's tall and lengthy like you, so you can't. It's kind of hard to keep space when someone in like half a step can close a big ass gap. So what kind of happened there?
That's a good question.
For me, it was how well he was closing that space because he has unorthodox movement. So
He's very much a boxer.
you could be passing in front of him and he might not choose to hit you here. You could be out there and he turns and throws that side of his body at you, and it doesn't always have to come from here. He adjusts his punch. He's so unorthodox with it. And that's the best way I can explain it because, when I look at him like, wow, I really did have these opportune moments where I had to slow down or either get out of there and move and let him come after me. And it was just, even in that moment, I was like, I can't get around this guy. I cannot get my room. And now I just have to box for where I'm at because he's hitting me. Even if I'm trying to take defense and move, he's closing it out.
Dude, he wasn't giving me no meeting room. It's so good.
So at that point, you're just doubling down on fucking swinging. And dude, and the crowd loved it. Like the fight was good. It was a fucking battle. I mean, I was fucking so proud of you, dude. That was,
dude. I watched
some of the shots I felt when I was throwing them. I was like, wow. Yes.
Yeah.
But he just kept coming back. And I was like, dude.
That fight gave him his name. You actually hear Mohawk's name a lot more, and I think it's due to that fight because it was such a fucking performance.
Well, there's one right before that. I watched that when I was down in Miami with Dakota. And so then I watched Esteban, and then you watched Keegan down in Denver.
Oh, fuck, we all seen him live.
Watching both fight in Salt Lake City was fucking sick because that fight where Esteban came back and he was fighting Jomi Escobar.
And Joey's going up for a belt right now. So, that just shows the level of competition Keegan's been facing. He's been fighting fucking warriors, man.
Yeah,
that fight was nuts.
And that's really just what I'm trying to get out of my career, man, is I feel like the bottom line is when I can get into my flow, I feel like I'm dangerous too.
Yeah, you are for sure.
You are a technician, man. I think I don't see a whole lot of holes in your game, to be honest with you, and I'll be the first to fucking tell you. I like to consider myself, and I like to fancy myself an analyst in fighting, and I think we're good at it. We observe really well, and our team is really on point. When I observe you, Keegan, there ain't a whole lot of holes, man. The only thing I think I would have asked for more in Salt Lake was just a few more action, get a few more punches, because it seemed like you were taking your time wanting to pick shots. Mm-hmm. I felt like if you were more active in your jabs and shit, you might have pulled that fucking fight out.
A lot more high lows and just
yes. That is my only hole in you, is just to get a little more active because your shots are there, man.
Mm-hmm. And
he ate some shots, dude. There was a couple of times where I was like, holy shit. Like, I thought the dude was going.
I said that. I thought, dude, how is he still going?
It was nuts.
It definitely deserved fight of the night as well.
I'm glad they did too. When I look with how much you guys were banging, there's no way you can prepare for like that kind of cardio. Like, you were having a dirty box or just box your way out of so many situations where it's just like you can't catch a breath.
We can't take from any of his opponent, man, because he was a fucking dog.
Hey, let's mention Wesley's comment here. He says, "Don't break that smaller ring," in reference to our boy Ruben Roundstone, who broke the smaller ring. You know what I mean?
He put his foot through it.
So that was kind of my question too about the ring. Is have you had to adjust quite a bit to your training to get ready for that, or because you already kind of practice in one that way? You already kind of are used to that pressure in that smaller ring.
Right now, the type of place that my game is in is that
Wes is just up.
Esteban Rodriguez fight really did a lot for me, man. One, that set a bar standard in my mind of the amount of chaos that I'm supposed to be expecting all night. So for me, and this is just kind of a little bit of a look into my mind as an athlete, and maybe other athletes and other fighting athletes in combat, martial artists around the world. But, losses, they can make us better people. But still, even at the end of the day, when you go through something like that, you want to work your hardest to not go through stuff like that again. And one thing that really has always stuck with me, like when I had experienced certain things in my life, it's so easy for me to mentally and visually place myself back in that spot and go, okay, so that's what this feels like. Yeah. And then I go, okay.
Learning lessons, not losses, learning lessons.
So for me,
We turn that up. Hold on.
And I'm preparing for that same pace. I'm preparing for that same amount of work. I'm preparing for the same workload. He's really done me a favor in that, because it's up to us. It's up to us to make the most out of those situations. And for me to be able to have a refuge in what that fight is and was to me is strong. That's strength to me.
Oh yeah, there's nothing to hang your head at for sure at that fight in Salt Lake. I mean, you guys went the full 3 too, didn't you? That went to a decision.
We went 2. I stopped. I think.
Okay.
Was it boxer stoppage?
I don't remember. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it was round 2 stoppage.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, either way, dude, like you guys straight up just banged the entire time, so there was nothing to hang your head at. I got to holler at is it your coach with Bushman Management?
Jacob Ramos.
Good call, Jake.
What's his name?
Jacob Ramos and Nick Bushman.
Yeah, the guy who had the neck brace on in Denver.
Yeah, Nick, yeah.
Nick, dude. He's fucking bad, dude, man. And I hollered at him. I was like, yo, dude, tell Keegan I love him, bro. Like, I was so proud of you and just battling like that, bro. And just, you put on one hell of a show, dude, and the people respected that. And I'm excited for this upcoming fight. Because
let's talk about Sawyer.
Yeah, he's bad, dude. Like, he's bad. He's big, dude, and he's kind of been on a tear.
He's a nasty individual. Like, and he's a good man, but nasty in the ring, man. He's a fucking warrior. And his name here in Montana seriously rings bells. You hear Sawyer, and you hear, oh, that fucker's a dog. And he's ranked number 4, I think, in the world right now. So this is a really big fight for you. And if you do win, that pushes you into the top 5 logically. I don't know what they'll do, with rankings, but more likely, if you beat Sawyer, it does push you into the top 5, and then comes conversations of title contention. Mm-hmm. You're facing a fighter that has lined up against the likes of Yuli Diaz, and and he's turned Yuli into a bloody mess. These are fighters in particular, like Sawyer, that you are preparing for an absolute war. The likeliness of you knocking him out is not high, but the likeliness of you guys going the distance is. So with that being said, what is your mind state going into a war with someone like DP?
Hey, Swiss. Kelly goes on this way.
Really just kind of mentally and emotionally putting myself in the place.
Thanks, Eddie.
That he wants to be in, breaking me down. So just getting comfy with those bad spots, bro.
Yeah.
Getting comfy with, just being in trouble.
Yeah.
I spoke with him privately a little bit in Missoula. He didn't have a whole lot to say about you, which is fair. He's pretty respectful as far as opponents and shit go. But he did say and did mention that he's been working on his own clinch work. If that is anything for either one of you guys to consider, I know clinch has been a focus on just about everyone's mind in bare knuckle. But I know coming from his camp, he says clinch work has been his focus, and I would expect you guys to tie up pretty good. This is going to be a fight that everyone wants to see.
And shoot, honestly, for me, that's really also where my camp has kind of been with me as well. Is this guy, he's big. He's gonna use his weight to jump on you and latch on you, and he's gonna put you in a blender if you let him. So yeah, that's really just what it's been for me, is working with dangerous people and
Come on, Molly.
and just trying to work on my clinch game.
So at that point, when they're bigger, not bigger necessarily than you, but you're working the clinch, are you working to just tie him up so then the ref will split you up? Are you working the clinch to fight out of, like, dirty box out of? What
I fucking love that question, Jake.
I imagine that the clinch.
I mean, you don't gotta give us all your dirty secrets, but sometimes
I imagine that the clinch is where he's probably going to want this fight to be.
Yeah.
So
he's going to want a dirty box a lot out of the clinch and
so I've been working on my strength side. I've been working on making sure I keep my space. On my not so much strength side, which he clearly knows, is really overworking that clinch and just being effective. For me, it's just going to be about what's available.
You guys both have advantages because of the gym and the people you are currently working with. You with Chris, Chris comes out of the background of MMA, and he's a really, really, really good technician as far as grappling and as far as tying up goes, right? Mm-hmm. So, Sawyer also has a camp where he's out of Dog Pound, and that's a MMA club as well, who's ran by Matt Powers, who's a really, really, really highly respected individual in Montana as far as the fight culture goes. Mm. And I would expect you guys to. Personally, what I would like to see out of this fight from both of you is to see how well you guys can work out of a clinch, on both sides. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of good clinch work with people getting active. Like Kai's very good at getting active in the clinch.
That is our true commentary.
But I would love to see how well you guys are to get out of a clinch, because we have yet to see really good defense against a really good clinch. Mm. And I think with you guys both heading in there, knowing kind of exactly how you guys both have really good game plans going in, not giving up either side. But I think that's going to be the key aspect to winning this fight on either one of your guys' sides, is to see how well you guys can untie from one another.
Yep. Engage, disengage.
What's up, baby? Kill Eagles in the house. Come say hi on the mic, or come say hi on the video.
What up, big dog?
What's up? Wesley Kill Eagle Jr. is in the house.
My question is, are you training a little bit harder this time of go around, do you think? Or I'm not saying that you weren't ready for your last fight, but I've been seeing you post a bit of your training videos. You're working out, at the running the 100-yard dashes and stuff like that. And I see that recently you were sponsored by something that Whitney's attached to.
Yep, Whitney Johns and Whitney Johns Nutrition have just they're my supplemental sponsor for this camp. Yeah, I've been working a lot on my cardio. I pride myself in having good cardio. I think one thing that I didn't have last camp that I do have this camp is that I'm not trying to fit my cardio sessions in wherever I can. Like, I've got like more of a set time, and I'm setting days in the week where I'm tuning my body up at the times that I'm supposed to be doing.
So you're prioritizing what has to be done when it needs to be done.
So right now, the sprints, they're during the day. They're usually at the beginning of the week, and I might have like 2 sprint sessions like within the first half of the week. But right now I'm on one like major sprint session, and the way we do those is they're doubles. So you sprint 100 yards and then you sprint 100 yards again, and that's one. We do those. We do 5, minimum 5 each time, so that's 1,000 yards total. And then with that, I've also been doing a lot more calisthenics. I've been doing more body weight stuff, a lot, just more just traditional stuff. I'm not I do like having like coaches that can help in those like other things, like not just the mitts or not just the boxing, but I'm really just doing a lot of functional stuff. Just do hella push-ups, do hella pull-ups, do hella abs, you know, run hella, all that. So
how did you did Whitney and some of her people kind of help create these programs for you, or did some of your coaches at your gym, Chris,
what they're doing? What their role is in my camp is that they are tracking how much my VO2 max is improving. So how much my body is using the available oxygen for what's going on in the situation.
So did you come up with these workouts then yourself, or?
No, they're just workouts I've always done. The only thing we're really adding is just the supplements.
Okay.
Yeah, sprints has always been a thing. And you know, thank you for the shout out on the videos, because like I'm getting the hang of those. I'm getting the hang of like making videos and making social media content a lot more. It's been cool. It's been cool kind of giving people a better look at my life.
People look at.
And you don't think it's just for me, you know, it's like I'm just another dude doing my thing. So it's hard to wrap my head around being like, well, some people actually do want to see some of the shit you're posting. So I get your struggle, and I'm really shitty with tech. So
there's so much, there's so many ways to navigate it. And there's a lot of stuff that you can do with just a single post. So, you know, we're all learning.
Right. Well, you keep sharing that stuff, and I'll, as best I can, I'll make sure to share some shit out for you. And like I said, I'm excited for this fight. So
thank you. I'm excited too. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. Real talk.
That's good, dude. Nerves keep you on your toes, I feel like, you know what I mean? So it's good to have a little bit of butterflies, man. It would mean you weren't enjoying it, I feel like, if you weren't a little nervous.
Facts.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So we brought our boy Wesley Kill Eagle Jr. in. I'm gonna cancel out this one real quick. Oh, Ty. Keegan know who he is. Yeah. Okay. He is a promoter for Kill Eagle Promotions. Our shit's in your backpack. Anyways, and he donates to childhood cancer research. But Glasgow, Montana, April 4th, Wesley Kill Eagle Jr. is bringing Fight for Our Future number 10.
This is the big one. This is a big one.
This
is our biggest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be.
You've done a lot of cool shit, by the way. You've done some rebranding in the last few days. Looks like you're coming out. You've been on the radio. You've gotten an article with that involves Sean O'Malley. Mm-hmm. You are. This is the year for Kill Eagle to really vamp up and make your guys' known statement that we're here to fucking stay, right?
We're here to make a difference.
Yeah.
We really are here to make a difference. When we first started this Kill Eagle promotion, childhood cancer research was under 3%. It's under 4% right now.
Let's go. I do. We made a video about that. Nobody understands. 1% is better than no percent.
Exactly.
1%.
So we made a difference, whether we want to believe it or not. Somewhere in the process of it, a percent has moved.
Yeah.
And I want to say we had a piece of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big. You guys are a big part of that. Can't thank you guys enough for what you guys
we
do.
As in like all of us here. Yes. You as mostly you. Your mission is if it wasn't for your mission, we wouldn't be involved in it.
Well, if it wasn't for Peyton.
Yes, sir.
If it wasn't for what we had to go through in 2017, there probably wouldn't be a Kill Eagle Promotions.
One day we'd like to have Keegan Vandermeer on a Kill Eagle promotion card.
Bring me out.
Hell yeah, man! It's a great promotion, man. The proceeds go to childhood cancer and fighting against it over there in Seattle and their childhood cancer center there.
I'm gonna pull up the fight card real quick. I had it for a second, but I downloaded the other one.
So this is our biggest card yet. We got 3 title fights on here.
Woo!
3 title fights. Everyone wants a chain. Everyone wants a chain,
man. And speak. Do we have the chain here? Oh, it's at my house.
No, it's in your backpack, isn't it?
Oh, I didn't bring it.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
yeah, the chain kind of represents the childhood cancer ribbon.
We earned a chain last year. We're the only ones in history that's earned a chain without throwing a punch.
Yeah. We gave a chain to Damian Grovon too, right after we gave you guys a chain.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, for giving up his starting spot a few years ago, whatever, to to his manager that never made the team. He
Oh,
up the
sure.
starting spot one time, so we gave him a game for that.
There we go.
So Wes, I want to just give you just one more opportunity to really highlight what we got going on. It's going to be a worldwide event.
So May 4th, may the 4th be with you.
Yes, sir.
Killer Go Promotions teaming up with the Weekly Bust. We're going to the middle of nowhere, Glasgow, Montana, and this is literally the middle of nowhere. We're going to put on a big show. We got 10 fights on the card right now, looking to add 2 more on. We got 3 title fights on the line. Okay. It's our first ever sanctioned event.
Yeah, dude, Wyoming. Shout out to you guys, Wyoming State Commission.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for working with us.
It's our front row tables are almost sold out. I was looking at it today. We got 4 left, 4 front row tables left.
And we're weeks out, baby. Yeah, let's go. I love you for that, man.
You know, let's set a record in Glasgow. You know, one record's already being set. First sanctioned fights in Glasgow, Montana. Let's sell that place out. Let's sell out the Valley Event Center. You know,
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right, Wes. Jake's coming back in. Thank you for stopping in and giving everybody a piece. Obviously, he's gonna still stay in the studio, but we're gonna give you a moment to close out and highlight your big moment, Keegan. And talk about it. I just want to make sure Jake comes back in here and closes you out with us.
I'm actually gonna give Keegan the big stage.
Yep.
Thank you guys.
Other side.
Sure.
Yes, Wes. Thank you for joining us for a second too, man.
Wrong side. Go back. I put it backwards. Here we go. Put.
Glasgow's gonna be fucking lit. I did not know that about the ticket sales already. Let's go.
All right,
that's
Keegan. You go ahead and
that's
highlight
good
your
news,
sponsors, my man.
Shoot. Well, guys, thank you for having me on the show. Everyone, make sure that you tune in. BKFC Prospect Series. Yours truly, Keegan Vandermeer versus Sawyer Depee, May 31st at the National Western Complex. And shoot, if I could say anything as a closing statement, you know, I've been up against scary guys before. So, and I take on all challenges and all obstacles and all adversity the same way. I do it with a smile. I keep my good attitude on. And
I can see why Jake likes this guy.
I can make classy look tough too. So, just tune in and just see. But
do you have any sponsorships?
I have sponsorships. Shout out to Whitney Johns.
Make sure you get that shine on those guys because they're helping you make your way, man.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Whitney Johns and Whitney Johns Nutrition. Shout out to Bushman Sports Management. My manager Nick Bushman. Shout out to CD's Wings. Guys, go by CD's Wings in Denver. Check them out. They're like the #1 spot for wings in Denver. Period. And also 778 and the Barn. They've been sponsoring me since I became a pro. And also, shout out Genesis Fight Team. Shout out Brotherhood Boxing. Shout out,
what about your gym, man? What about your gym?
Genesis Fight Team. Shout out Genesis Fight Team.
Cool.
And shout out the guys over there, everyone that goes over to Genesis. Thank you guys so much for just helping me make my way. Shout out to 5280 Big. Just spent some time with him today and just talked about just future opportunities.
Hey man, can we recommend you to go on to Denver Sports Betting Radio with our homie Ryan?
Link up with Ryan.
Yeah, dude. I think it'd be dope to have you on there.
Yeah.
Please. I you know, like I said, I'm still learning to get the hang of these. I love every opportunity that I get to talk with people. This is also a big part of the sport for me too.
He's a local dude.
What's up, Jay Davis?
Shit, man. You have to
I love that.
I'd love that. I just wanted to shout out your fire. I'm a huge novelty T-shirt person, so your Clockwork Orange / Super Mario shirt is so fucking hard. I just wanted to comment on that before we.
I have a question for you before we close out too, and it's a random one.
In this shirt, in this one, this is one of the hard work pieces. So
that one fucks, dude.
Yeah,
believe it's real.
That one fucks.
I'm glad he brought that up because I was gonna bring up your you said way early on in this episode that you're a fan of just martial arts, and it sounded like honestly it sounded like me speaking about Dragon Ball. Are you a Dragon Ball guy? Do you watch Dragon Ball?
I'm a Dragon Ball guy. I'm an anime guy. Period.
I just picked it up. I was like, dude. Everything you just said reminded me because the way you're like it reminded me of Goku, like the way he wants to improve. The way you were talking, like.
It's
the way he like looks at fighting is the way that you look at fighting. So I was like, that's gotta be Dragon Ball, man.
I gotta be in there testing myself, man, because
Yes.
I've seen myself do some stuff in this past year, and it's showing me levels. So
you gotta watch it. You gotta watch his IG stories, man. I love watching your IG stories. A lot of positive energy, a lot of good energy.
He reminds me of a day, man. A day's like that too.
Yeah, so
do you know a day Ewell?
No, I don't, but I shoot if you like post him on a story or something. I'll follow him.
You guys would be friends. I have 100%. I believe that, dude.
Hey, shout out to Trevor Ish and Taylor Michelson. Or Mike, I get butchered the last name. It looks like those are those look like they're stars. We can't see them on our end, but if it is, that means our stars are back, baby.
Let's go! Finally.
Yeah.
Hey, Keegan, one more last thing, man, before we let you go.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any final words to Sawyer? Because Sawyer will be coming on the show, and I want him to see a word from Keegan.
Shoot, man, big respect to you. I know in a lot of ways you are the guy to beat. And I just want to let you know that as respect to this fight and to the person that you are, I'm ready to take it to wherever it needs to go.
Hell yeah.
I fucking love
We didn't even
that.
take this there, but if you beat him, couldn't that mean you potentially fight Chris?
You know,
that is a possibility.
If
he drops down, he's a class above, isn't he?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I thought Chris was. I thought they were in the same position.
We're all in this sport to compete. But for some odd reason in me, as a person, I feel like it would be a lot more of a possibility that I'm probably going to try another option.
Yeah. Well, I just wasn't sure if you were in the same division because wasn't Sawyer talking about Chris?
I think he's a weight class up though, isn't he?
I wasn't sure.
Isn't Chris 220?
We are in the same division for some fights, and I think Chris is also a weight class above me.
Okay. I just wasn't sure. That's a whole new can of worms. We can fuck with that later. We'll save that for next time. Sorry, I just was tripping.
Initially getting into this sport, I know a lot of people have their opinions on certain stuff. Like a lot of people are like, oh, well, like, you're in this to fight. You need to fight the best. And, the best is out there. And I have fought Chris. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's fucking fire. He's like, sparring is fighting.
Hey. And, Chris went 5 with the champ, so
I'm pretty sure that for Chris that probably wasn't even that. So I know that this is a competitive league, and I do like to let my nuts hang. I like to strut my stuff when I can. But I know where I'm at, man. I know where I'm at.
Fair enough.
I'm excited, man. I can't wait.
All right, man. So we ran out of time. We do have an in-house guest that's coming up directly after. So everyone that's paying attention and watching the show right now, will you make sure you guys stay tuned, because directly after this show, we have a fantastic in-studio, in-house guest. She goes by the name Annie Lowe. She's bringing her production to the Four Seasons Arena for Montana Fitness
Expo and Health Expo.
Yep. And she'll be joining us directly afterwards. But first, before we close this out, Keegan, I want to say thank you first and foremost. You have been a fantastic guest, man. We definitely want you back on.
Thank you for being patient while we figured a couple things out. We appreciate it.
You got applause in the background, so that means you did well. Some people just get slept on.
I thought that was Jason just getting nuts slapped on his cheeks.
We do have an obligation that we have to do. We have to keep you on here while we also run through our sponsors. Levi, let's run them.
All right, bet. We got to go.
Bucked Up is a company who has made it their sole mission to bring nothing but the best to the table when it comes to supplemental and fitness products. Founded by two forward-thinking brothers, they have assembled a team of like-minded people who have blossomed this company into a powerhouse in the fitness world as well as in the health and wellness community. Bucked Up is focused on using only the best ingredients and scientists to create amazing products that will help amplify performance, increase energy, and promote overall wellness. Jumpstart your fitness journey with some amazing Bucked Up products today. Join the Weekly Bus Boys and let's get bucked up now. Promo code WEEKLY for 20% off at checkout.
Elevate your vaping and smoking experience with 20 Past 4, Montana's premier vape, water pipe, and accessory shop. Discover a world of possibilities at 5 convenient locations, 2 in Great Falls, 1 in Helena, 1 in Billings, and for our friends in Arizona, we've got you covered with a location in sunny Prescott. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff are ready to guide you through the latest trends, ensuring you to find the fit for your lifestyle. Plus, don't miss out on exciting promotions and discounts, making your shopping experience even better. 20 Past 4, where quality meets satisfaction. Visit us today at one of our 5 convenient locations. All right. And Hudson's trash removal, if you need anything taken out.
Give him a special one.
Hell yeah. Hudson's trash removal. The boy, the man. He's got the team. He's got the dream. He's got the truck. He's got the trailer. He's got the manpower. He's got the man hours. Get it done. If you need something taken out, the man. Hudson Trash Removal. Thank you for sponsoring us and always believing in the dream.
Hudson Trash Removal actually will be sponsoring a particular part of this trip, and we want to give him the extra shine. So be watching for the content that will be coming out of Los Angeles because he will be paying for one of those spots, and we'll be marketing the shit out of his company during those moments.
Woo! Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
And as always, you see it on our heads. Halftime Sports Bar. You want to watch Knucklemania 4 for free, just for having the subscription. It's only $70 a year or $7.99 a month. You can go watch it at the halftime. Knucklemania 4.
Hell yeah.
I said, go watch it, go gamble, go eat some tacos, provided by Taco Treat. And then if you want to, go to the Amigo.
And if you're in the shopping market for a new home or in the selling market for a new home, make sure you hit up the Premier team from Dustin Young. There's 3 individuals there that know how to do it, and they've been doing it for a while. They are the best in the business. Make sure you hit up Amber, Audrey, or Paul from the Premier team over there at Dustin Young. They are the best in the business for a reason. Hit them up. They'll get your house sold, or they'll get you in a home that you want to buy.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
And our Aunt Jamie St. Mark's, Beardsconsin, Donnybrook, and
love you guys.
The voted #1 dispensary in Montana.
Grown.
Thank you, Keegan Vandermeer, for coming on, brother. We
Thanks
appreciate you. And
I'll be bugging you.
I'm happy I can watch you fight on my birthday. This shit's gonna be.
I'm happy to get to know you.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Woo! Hey, Keegan, good luck at your fight, brother. You got love up here in
Montana.
Montana.
Videos. Tag me in some of your shit so I can share it.
I got you. Yes, sir.
All right.
Good luck from us over here at the bus. We cannot wait for your fight, my man.
Thank you, guys. Bless.
Thank you for coming on.
Peace.
Thank you. Hell yeah. And with that, we are the Weekly Bus.